Hey beautiful, great to have you back. Don't miss out on any episode. Follow me on Facebook where you will receive additional information. Just look for Tita May, and for now I wish you a lot of inspiration. Hi and welcome to today's episode of I Am Aloha. Wow, we're going through a couple of really strong energetic days. I mean, we're having the portal days like I've put in the show notes. But it's not just the portal days. I mean, we're straight walking towards a new moon on Saturday. On Sunday, and we're walking towards the new year of the Mayan calendar, of the Maya calendar, and it's amazing because it's bringing a lot of energy, pushing us towards our path. Now, I feel it's kind of like it's going to be the highlight of the year, and it's just getting started. And I mean, the highlight is getting started, and it's pushing towards August, when we're going to have this solar and lunar eclipse that we're going to have in August. It's going to be so amazing because I'm used to having those in September usually, but this year we're having them in August, so it's going to be really amazing, and it's a good time to take this energy and use it for your personal new beginning, for your personal push towards whatever your heart desires. And it can be something huge, or it may be something little, but whatever it is, it's going to be your new beginning. You know, we're still working on letting go of a lot of things, and the energies are helping us to really release the last shackles that we put on ourselves, because it's no one else that put those on us. It's ourselves holding on to those, and you're allowed to release those and just say, okay, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I was talking to a couple of friends, and it was basically looking into this, allowing yourself, allow yourself to do certain things, allow yourself to like certain things. It's not just letting go of energies of other people, it's basically letting go of your own thinking that you're not allowed to do this, or you're not allowed to do that, or you're trying to fit into a certain group of people by trying to change yourself, or trying to how do you call this, like peer pressure, when you're in a group and everyone laughs at this certain kind of way people are, or laughs at that kind of people, and deep down inside of you want to do that. I mean, let's take an example. You like knitting, and people in your surroundings are making fun of people that knit. Who cares? Just do it for yourself. Allow yourself to do that. Or maybe you have this idea of a new job, or a new creative side of yourself that you'd like to live out, but you're not allowing yourself because you feel a little self-conscious, or maybe you feel like you would be, you're not giving yourself the strength to just do it. And for that, like an example, I had a lot of people telling me, wow, talking to you helped me so much, and it helped me change a couple of things in my life, and it's so amazing. And I had that already, people telling me that. But it took me really longer than that. It took me more than that, because it wasn't the people telling me that. It was myself, to allow myself to say, wow, this is something that I actually love doing. I'm helping people, and it's fun for me. I mean, not in a fun haha, but like, I like doing that. I like talking to people and inspiring them. And it took me very long to allow myself to think of me as a coach, to be able to do that. And that's what I'm trying to tell you with this. Allow yourself to be the best you can be, the best side of you. If you look at whatever your hobbies are, or whatever you love to do, like really from the bottom of your heart, you love spending time with whatever, And you have this, you're not allowing yourself to do that fully, you know? For example, if you love to play guitar and you'd like to be a teacher, you know, like you have this thing that you can actually teach people. Allow yourself to call yourself a teacher. If you feel like it, if you feel the calling of teaching people to do that, you can do that. I mean, especially nowadays, we have so many possibilities to allow ourselves to really walk the path that we're meant to do. We just have to listen to ourselves and allow ourselves to do that. And then we get to the point that I'd like to talk to you about today, because I was talking to one of my colleagues at the Lomi training I was last week. And we got to that point where he gave me this idea of, he actually reminded me of the idea of doing things because you're missing something, or doing things because of the abundance of something. For example, doing a job that you don't like, but you're doing it because you don't want to have too little money. Because you don't want to, because you need money, so you're doing it because money's missing in your life. You know, you're doing it out of lack or because of absence of something. Because you're lacking in money, because you're lacking in love, because you're lacking in friendship. You know, like this typical thing when you're lacking love and you're trying to fit in somewhere, and so you're trying to make yourself be more likable by this group or by people, or maybe even by one person. So what you're doing, you're acting on the lack of something. You're acting on shortage of something, and that would be, in this case, love, for example. And if you turn that around, and instead of trying to fit in somewhere where you don't feel the love because you're trying to make them love you, and you start looking at whoever actually does love you, then it brings the abundance in your life. So you've probably heard this in, maybe if you read the book The Secret, or maybe you heard it somewhere else, but it's this principle of when you're doing things because you feel like there's something missing, or there's something not there, it's absent, in comparison to when you do something because you want it more in abundance, you're feeling it and you want it to become more. So I think we've had it in different kinds of types that we were talking about, this resonance principle. So if you feel that you're lacking money, for example, and you start doing stuff like that, you're gonna be in a place that's not gonna be good. I always like to take as an example my own path, where I had a job that I didn't like, but I did do it because I had a lot of money. I did get I wouldn't say like a lot, but it should have been enough. But because it was making me unhappy, at the end of the month I would never have a penny left. So I was actually doing the job out of the lack of money, but it wasn't making me happy. So I would spend all the money and in the end I wouldn't have none. So what I did is I changed my point of view, and instead of looking at what I was missing, which in my eyes was the money, and start to live in the abundance, because I wanted to have more time for myself. I needed more time for myself, to find myself, to form my way of life. So I said, I'm going to take the plunge. I'm going to decrease my job for one day. So I changed my time, and instead of working 5 days a week, I only worked 4 days a week, which of course gave me less money. But because I was happier, I was feeling way better with myself, and I was really working my things, and I was going into the abundance of my time for myself and cherishing myself way more, I started to have money at the end of the month, even though I was getting less money. So that's an example on the money part, when you're doing things out of abundance, or you're doing things out of lack of something. And I think it's important, like especially right now in this weird time, or not, I wouldn't say weird times, in the special times that we're having, to really ask ourselves, ask yourself, if are you doing this because you're missing out on something, or are you doing this because of abundance? I'd like to go back into this when you're doing out of love. What I realized when being in this lack of something, lack of a partner, and not having someone that I could love, and I changed it into the abundance side, instead of looking where I was not having it, because I wasn't having it in a partner, but I changed my point of view where I did have it in abundance, and that was my family, and that was my friends, and that was the people I was meeting, that was the people, my clients. And once you start looking at that, it's so overwhelming, beautiful, because you start seeing where it already is. So that itself helps you to get into the abundance of love to yourself. And once you do that, then you can go into the love to the outside, because that's what it's all about. It's all about you bringing it into resonance. So once you know, like out of the whole manifestation books, like The Secret, for example, where you put your focus on the things that you already have in abundance, and like if you want to call something into your life, you start looking at where you already have it and where you can build it in even bigger. You know, you don't look around at where I don't have it. You know, like, oh yeah, but I don't have that. Don't care, because you have it at somewhere else. You have it in abundance. So start focusing on that, on where are you doing it with abundance? Where do you have it a lot? And it's the same thing, like, yeah, you're missing out on money, but what do you have more? You know, and I think nowadays for us, it's way more important to have quality time for ourselves and for the people around us. And once we have that quality time, everything else falls into place. So the money, for what do you want more money? Because you want to have more money for what? Usually we want it to be able to go on vacations with the people we love, or to buy gifts for the people we love. And if you start not to look into that, like being in the lack of things, and start being in the abundance of things, suddenly everything falls into place. Because you're going to notice that the people that you love are way happier if they spend time with you. And if you're in a good mood, and because you're concentrated in the positive things in your life instead of the negative things. So, I think basically the idea is just be conscious of yourself and where you are doing things because there's a lack of something, and change that into something where you have abundance, or where you like to bring more abundance into it, you know? I hope that wasn't too weird, or how do you say, explained too difficult. I think it's actually very easy to just be focusing on oneself and just do that. Like, look, am I doing this because I'm missing something? And how do I bring abundance into it? And with that, I'd like to leave you. Have a lot of fun with the upcoming new moon, with the time change we're having with the Mayan calendar next week. I'm very much looking forward to talk to you next week again. Have a great time, and Aloha, mahalo, and e ho'o mai kai kako. Bye. Thanks a lot for tuning in again. I hope you were able to get some good takeaways for yourself. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a review. And if you'd like to receive some more inspirational information, sign up to Tita May's Weekly Inspiration, which will be coming soon. You can find the link on my website, www.titamayola.com. I'm looking forward to inspire you some more, and until then, aloha mahalo, e ho'o mai kai kako, e ahui ho. A loving thank you from the heart, a lot of blessings for everyone, and hear you again next time.